All right, so this is going to be a tutorial to show you, Caleb, how to set up the scenes in OBS. So the first thing you have here, obviously, is the OBS screen. Now, if you haven't already, go back and watch the tutorial that I did, so you'll know kind of what these do. I'm not going to go over, the mixer and all this today, but simply how to set up the scenes and how to select the sources. So I'm going to send you a um, link to the Google Drive folder where all these assets will be. And I'm going to show you in here, once you've downloaded them on your computer, how you can potentially um, set up a collection of scenes to, make a little bit of a better scene presentation. So in OBS, the first thing you're going to see over on here on the bottom left is the scenes. You click the plus button. And what this will do is this will open up a scene for you. And then in this case, I named mine intro because I did create that intro video for you. And if you want to use that for the scene, you certainly can, though it isn't necessary. But what I would do is this. You would then go over here, to sources, and you would set up, you would hit the plus button and you would look for media source. Because this is a video file, intro video, you're going to want a media source. So you can name it. And you'll want to name all your sources. That's important, especially when you're keeping everything straight in your head. So name it intro video. Then it's going to ask you, okay, well, where do you want to find it? So we'll go browse. Now I have it here in a folder art for Caleb's game, opening teaser. So I'll select that, close file when inactive. Don't select loop because it'll play it over and over again. Hit OK. Now you'll see that that plays in the window here, right? You'll also see down here that it's got its own audio. Now this will be important because if you, and I will go over this, if you are playing this intro video, when you hit start streaming, this is where you'll start. Actually, I wouldn't start here. I'll show you a different way to start, but we'll put this in. You'll want to make sure that your mic audio and your desktop audio are muted so that they can't hear you chatting before the game and all that, right? But you'll want to keep intro video music turned on. You may want to turn it down a little bit just to make sure, because this could really blast somebody's ears. So it may be worth turning it down. So that's the video. What I would actually do to start, though, is I would do starting soon. So you go over here, you select another scene, and I would put it up at the top so you remember what to do. Starting soon is your scene. Then you go over here to sources. And in this case, you're going to want to do an image. Starting soon screen. Okay. So you'll select, and in this case, I created this one, right? And it just says starting soon. Now, I didn't do any fancy, motion graphics or anything. Frankly, I didn't have time, but, you've got this, right? And so what I would probably do is go somewhere to like Tabletop Audio, or if Nathan can hook you up with something, grab some music, and you could put in some music to be playing along with this. In fact, I think, well, no, I'm not going to bother with it at this point. So when you start streaming, this is what I would do. If you did want to set up music, what you would do is you would hit plus. You would go to, again, media source, music. Okay. This one you would want to hit loop because presumably you're going to, I don't know. I guess it depends on how long. Let me see where I have some music here. I'm trying to remember if it's, well, here we go. We'll do, there's one. I wonder if I have it in here. Okay, so let's just say we'll do, I don't know, we'll do this one. You won't be able to hear it on here, right? But you can see it's playing music. So when this was streaming, you'd be able to hear it, right? This actually, I don't, whoa, does that show up? That's weird. Well, I don't know if that actually shows an icon. That seems very strange, but we'll pull that below the starting soon screen so that you can't see it. Very bizarre. So whatever scene is source is listed on top is what will show on top. So see, now we've got music playing and we've got our starting soon screen. So this is cool. Again, you want to make sure you have your mic and desktop audio clicked off. Then when you were ready to start, you would do your intro. You'd wait until it was done playing, right? And then we're going to have a main scene, right? And I'll set that one up in just a minute. So if you wanted to, you could get even more fancy and you could do an intro scene, which is just your face cam where you introduce the game, but that's getting a little more fancy than maybe you need. So we'll set up a new scene and we're going to call it live game. Okay. And then this one, for the sake of simplicity, what I'm going to do here is I'm going to just use the overlay that I had created for you right here. Okay, so we'll do this. Now this is not ideal because what's going to happen is you're going to actually have to fit the face cam borders inside here, which is going to cut the live thing off. That may not be so bad for you, but you will, and it'll cut off some of like the, you know, the parts that pop down in there, but it's not terrible, right? But so you've got this, okay? And this is important because you're going to need to set up face cams, and I'll show you how to do that in just a moment. You're also going to probably want to put in text for your players' names. So, and I can show you that as well. But this is the basic overlay, okay? Now, what you'll want to do is if you're, let's say you have, I don't know, let's say you have Discord open, you're doing a Discord video. To capture the actual video, what you're going to want to do is you're going to want to go, so again, under your live game, under sources, you've got your overlay. Then you're going to want to go down to the plus to add, and you're going to want to go to window capture. And honestly, I would name, you're going to have to do this each time for each player. So the first one I would do is GM face or something. You can name it whatever you want, right? Okay, then over here under window, you're going to want to select, you'll see a Discord window up here. Now what I'm going to do here actually is select tabletop audio because it has these little square boxes. So it'll give you kind of an approximation of what I'm looking at. I don't particularly like showing the cursor to the viewer. So that's default turned on, capture cursor. I turn that off and hit OK. Now you can see here that we've got the window, right? But presume that these are faces, right? This is your Discord window. These are your faces. You're going to want to shrink these down and then you're going to want to place them in the right spot. So what you need to do is you need to hold down the Alt key and go up to the top you can see these little circles here. Hold down Alt and you bring them in. This crops the image. And so you'll crop it down to just the person's face that you need. Okay. Right, so crop. Okay, then you need to move it, right? And then you hold down Shift, grab again the corner, and you sort of position it where you want it, right? Maybe we'll fine tune that just a little bit, crop, and then, so anyway, you get the point, right? And that puts your face in there. So that's the GM's face. Now we had to put it over these images because this is a static image in the background. So you can see it cuts part of it off, but it's not terrible. You've still got a border here and you've still got the nameplate section down there. Now we have to repeat this each time. So again, I'll go to window capture. I'll do player one face. And it's important to name these. You can name them however you want, but it's going to be important, especially if you ever have to move it. So then again, in this case, I'm selecting tabletop audio, but you'll have Discord open and you'll see which one it is. And if you pick the wrong one, it's not a big deal. You can go back and change it. But again, so I've got this. So now I got to do the same thing. So I hold down Alt and I start cropping. And I'll pull in from the corner. And you got to make sure that you're grabbing that little circle, because if you're not, it won't crop properly. Okay, and then again, we position it, hold shift, and drag it out to the edge of the border here. You know, and I mean, you got to play with it. It doesn't have to be perfect, but like that. Right, and you just do this over and over again until you've got all the faces in there. Now, this is important to note also, that if somebody drops, this overlay could get messed up. So you may have to go back in and reposition things. Theoretically, in Discord, I think if that person pops in, they pop back in the same position. So that's good. But if they don't, you can always just grab the actual images and just move them. Player to face. Right, and so again, we're going to do the same thing. And I'm not going to go through every single one of these. I'm not going to do this 400 times or whatever, because you get the point. But hold Alt, scroll up, crop it to where you need it, and reposition, and then you're good to go. So this part is tedious, and you have to wait until all the players are in the game before you can do this part, because otherwise, when you crop it down, and then if a new player comes in, it will mess up. So that one is hard, and so that's why I would request to see if you can get your players in within enough time before the game for you to be able to do this and still start on time. So you get the point here, right? Now, if you're going to take a break in the middle of the game, it might be good to start do a be right back soon screen, which I've created as well. So I'll do be right back. Now I would set all these up ahead of time, right? But and in fact, you set up the live game last. So again, under scenes plus be right back, and then over here we're gonna do another image. So you go to the plus, you go to the image. We're gonna do BRB screen. Okay, browse. And so we'll do be right back. Okay, great. There we go. We'll put in some music here as well. So again, we'll do the plus. We'll go media source, music. Oh, yes. You know what? Actually, in this case, because we've already selected music, let's go to add existing. If you want to use the same music, add existing, double click on music, hit OK. See? And it automatically adds it in here. So that's convenient. Now, you see how this is showing up on there? You don't want that. So what you do is you take, over here in sources, you take music, drag it down below the be right back screen, and now it's gone. Okay. And then finally, what I like to do is add an end scene. And I haven't done this yet because I've forgotten to make end cards. If you are doing something where it's on YouTube and you want to push a YouTube game, like, subscribe, click the bell notification, that whole thing, right? Then you could do like an end card. But for the sake of this, we're just going to do end screen. Okay. Browse, and this is the thanks for watching, right? And so maybe you'll also add the music in here. Media source, add existing, music, double click or hit OK. Drag it below the end screen. All right. And then what this will allow you to do is, so you're starting soon, you've hit start streaming. You may want to do a local recording too, but it's up to you. You hit start streaming, right? You've already set up your stream stuff. Great. Once you're ready to go, you click over to the intro. You let this play. And again, notice how your mic and desktop audio are muted. Okay. Then what you'll do is you'll unmute these. Actually, probably switch to the live game first, then unmute those. Now you go into your intro. You guys start playing your game. If you're going to take a break, again, mute your mic, mute your desktop audio over here under Mixer. Go to the Be Right Back screen. Got your music playing. Everything's good. People know, okay, he's on a break. Then when you're ready to come back, you simply click back over to live game. Don't forget to unmute, right? That's the big thing. You don't want to forget that. You do that. And then at the very end, when you're all done, thanks, see you next time, go to end scene, mute your mic audio, mute desktop audio. Give this maybe a minute or two as you're getting ready to wrap up. And then you would end stream, right? You could put this on for a minute or two, just kind of as a nice little thing to do that. If you guys are going to chat for maybe 5 or so minutes afterwards, you could do this as well. So it's up to you. But that is basically how you would go ahead and set this up. I think for your purposes, this would work just fine. I'll do a couple more. I'll finish this up, right? Player 3 face. The other way to do, oh, and I'll show you how to do the text as well. Tabletop audio, capture cursor. All right, so we'll do this one. All right, so I mean, you can see this part is tedious, but it's worth it because overall it creates a better looking stream. And if you want to stream regularly, personally, I think that's why we started the group, to create better streams, right? Oops, I didn't mean to put that over there. I meant to put that right here. Okay, and then finally, window capture, player 4 face. Capture cursor, okay. Alt, right, we'll do this. Okay, and then this. And again, you're going to be looking at most likely your Discord video or whatever. This, you do not want to do this type of overlay with Google Hangouts. It just doesn't work. So anyway, right, you see you've got this. Now suppose you want to add in text. I didn't want to add in text, obviously, because I don't know character names. You can do all kinds of things if you feel like getting fancy. You can add, if people are on Twitter, you could add little Twitter notifications, whatever. But like, what I would do is, in this case, you go to add, you go to text, and then maybe GM name or something, right? And then you can select, and I mean, this is pretty good. In fact, what I like to do, I would go to Broadway. Broadway is a good, where is it? Is a good text for this. I think that's what I used. Where did I miss it? There it is. Okay, so you can do Broadway for your font. Hit OK. Then you can do GM Plague, or whatever you want to put on there. Down here you can select the font color. This is all way more than you need to do. You can just do a very basic font if you want to, but you can see, you can select the font color, and I'll make it a little darker. And then we'll go down to here where it says outline. Actually, let's do center text. Let's do outline. Now the outline is like what we have up here, right? So we'll go to select color, and we're gonna do this gray color, right? Kind of match it up as close as you can. It's not gonna be perfect, and that's okay. Let's make it a little brighter here. Okay, that's a little better. And then outline size, we'll maybe make it just a little bigger, just so it stands out a little bit more. Hit OK. And then drag your name down here. You can resize it however you need, right? You get the point. Now, again, the tedious part is you're going to have to do this all in advance. So what I might do is ahead of the game, set all of this up, and then the only thing you're going to need to do is do the screen captures for the Discord window, put them in here, and you're ready to go. So hopefully that helps. This should kind of give you an idea, again, of what you could potentially do and how you could make your stream, I think, pretty cool. So, you know, we'll just go through this again. This is going to be loud, so you'll want to turn down the audio. You can see I have the volume turned down here. You may even want to turn it down a little more. Or you may want to, I don't know, warn people. But anyway, then you go to live game, unmute, blah, blah, blah. Here we go. You guys got to go pee, so you take a break. Live game, hey, we're back. And then end scene, thanks for watching. You guys have been great. Peace, right? Then you'd stop your stream and you're good to go. So hopefully that was helpful. If you still need any help with it, though, let me know.